Going to rehabilitation was supportive because I was around people that understood me. Because it took me a long time to understand what happened, the shock of it, the process of it all. And I found the support from my doctor. He's known me for over 15 years. And he checks up on me. He might want to do a blood test on me here and there just to make sure that I've got my vitamins and I'm not missing out on anything. Medicine, he's the one that provides it to me. And yes, he's my support system if there's something goes on. Even if I'm not 100%, not physically, but even emotionally, he's good because he's known me for so many years and he knows what I've been through. My other part of my medical team, my cardiologist, who has known me for 5 years now, and he's an amazing doctor. My gym, my personal trainer, is part of that because they know what's going on and they know how far I can get pushed. And, you know, I know what my heart rate should be and the highest, the lowest. I always try and learn to listen to my body. And sometimes, not sometimes, at the beginning, I was seeing a psychologist just to come around and help me find tools to understand what happened and how to move forward with it and be okay with it all. Because the first 2 years, I didn't want anyone to know that I had a heart attack. So it was really hard for me. Now I don't care who knows. I tell everybody. Once I returned back to work, if there was even a slight little bit of pain, you know, they were very helpful and understanding. And so, yeah, work was good.
During the diagnosis period, I had, obviously my wife was my number one person who I'd be chatting to every day. And, you know, there were some pretty dark days in terms of diagnosis, and she was there to support me throughout the whole process and just there to listen, not necessarily give advice, but just listen. And then there were other friends who, you know, apart from your partner or your wife, you could tell the story, and they were there to also listen. And I think having that support network helped me mentally get through the process, and knowing that they were there. And then eventually when the larger circle of friends found out what had happened to me, you know, everyone was really surprised and everyone was so shocked. But everyone then just came out to support me. And, you know, through various things, even just the call up, how are you going, Claude? And sort of in terms of my relationships with friends have actually strengthened because of this process, or because of what I've gone through. And, you know, that sort of made me, you know, realise how important my friends and family are. And it sort of woke up a lot of my friends to go and get themselves checked out, go to the GP, and, you know, you're not that young anymore, you're not that bulletproof anymore, to go and just do your yearly checkup, because you could pick up something that you're just not aware of.
Family and friends I keep close. You know, my mother's been there since day dot, obviously, so she's always been there to support me through my, you know, childhood and younger years up until adulthood. So she's always there for me. Obviously, then, you know, as you get older, you move on, and, you know, I've gotten married. So now, you know, my wife's a great support as well. She kind of took over the my mum's role a bit. But I also have a lot of close family, very close friends, and a lot of cousins that are, you know, close to me. They're always there for me. So obviously I run my own business, which I touched on. It's an entertainment company, so I do sometimes have to, you know, lift speakers or do this and that. So, you know, I always had the support of them, you know, just be on the phone and they'd come and give me a hand, or obviously my dad would come and give me a hand with that as well. He's been a big support as well during these times. So I think it's always good to have, you know, people that you love, people that are close to you around during these times. It just gives you motivation to push on.
Prior to my cardiac arrest, I was me and my girlfriend had only been seeing each other for a little bit of time, not very long at all. And I remember waking up in intensive care, and then maybe a day later, when I realised the gravity of what happened to me, I said to her, "Look, you don't have to stay here for this. You don't have to go through this with me," because I knew that it was a pretty big journey ahead. And and I think my words to her actually, "You didn't sign up for this." And I told her that she didn't have to stay. She used some pretty colourful language and said she wasn't going anywhere. And then now, like nearly 3 years down the line, she was the best thing that could have happened to me at that time. Just without her support and her understanding and just complete patience, I don't think I'd have made the recovery that I've made.
My partner was probably the most important support. I mean, he saw me every single day, and when I had my low anxious points, he would be there to receive, to download. I could just download all of my feelings onto him, and he would not understand but appreciate what I was going through. Close family and friends are always helpful. Anyone else that's gone through something similar. So I did have a couple of friends that have congenital heart disease, and one friend who was actually being operated on a week after me. So we went through that together, and that was really, really helpful, because sometimes you feel like no one understands, and they can understand why you're so anxious and why you feel down, but there's no particular reason for it.
The only support that I received was with Melanie's family and sort of people around you who can actually see the pain that Melanie's going through, even pre-surgery and post. Mel's mum was, she was always there as well. She was helping just as much as I was. With the family and everything, it was good, but no one else, understands what I was sort of going through and how I had to cope with, having to sort of do, like, to feel the pain that Mel's going through. And it would be great to, if there was a group that Mel could speak to the people who've been through the surgery and, and be able to bounce things off of other partners or other family members of other people who've been through the same situation, how they sort of, handled it, how they calmed down the other person when they sort of, had, some issues dealing with what they had to go through. So I think it'd be very beneficial to have that sort of thing.
I wanted to spread the word that young people can have this. It can happen to young people as well. I didn't know how to do it, and I wasn't ready to talk about it, but I knew this is something that needs to be spoken about. And I Googled the Heart Foundation. I looked them up online. I wanted them to know about me. So I started volunteering for the Heart Foundation, Red Women's Day, Heart Day. So I started getting involved, and then I started meeting the people that worked within the Heart Foundation. Amazing people. And I wanted them to know, and I wanted them to be able to offer me things that I wasn't offered when I actually did have my heart attack.
So once I connected with the Heart Foundation and commenced that volunteering, that was really special, I think, in terms of recovery as well, in terms of mental health. And then I got the position after volunteering and am now working with the Heart Foundation. And that has enabled me to meet other young people that have gone through the same experience. And that's been really important because we've kind of formed our own informal support group. And it's just, it's so important to kind of share that, and just sharing it is therapeutic.
I put my name down as a volunteer for the Australian Heart Foundation, and through that, I was able to sort of connect with a couple of people who've gone through similar circumstances to me, and that was really good. That was post-op. One thing that I think would be beneficial is if we could capture these people during the diagnosis period, which is difficult in itself. But so I've been in contact, and a couple of messages, and we call each other and go out for dinner sometimes as well with people who have gone through the same thing as me.
there's a lot going on in your head that you really want to write down or you want to put somewhere. And as much as you can download onto your family and your friends, there is a part of you that wants something just for yourself. And I found blogs as such an amazing resource that I thought perhaps other people would find a blog that I'd written as a good resource as well. So I decided, kill two birds with one stone and get my feelings out and some information out for others as well. And it was really cathartic, really, really good.